There he is. Hey, look at that guy right there. Oh, Flores. Boys and girls, you have been waiting for this moment, for waiting for this time. You don't know who he is, but we all do, and you will know who he is. He is Danny the Manny Flores. Wait, what are we calling him?
We're calling him the real Danny.
The real deal, Danny Flores, straight out from Florida. What do you say, my friend? Can you hear us? Are you good?
I can hear you. We actually call it Flores now.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Floresda sounds nice.
Hey, Danny.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Show, man. I'm great. I just drove back from Miami, and
where you was on live television, right, during the game?
I got a couple text messages from people back in Kansas City saying that they saw me screaming at Quartaro and at Salvi.
What was you actually saying to him?
Oh man, I said that this is a tough season. I think
tough
it's
season.
Nice play. It's it has been a tough season.
Great lineup.
Man, I don't know about that lineup, but I'm glad that we're at least losing with our young guys for the most part.
Right. So that brings up the question we've been kind of talking about offset here is what's with the Royals? Is it draft? Is it development? What are we doing wrong here, Danny?
Before you answer that, Dan, let me just explain real quick. So Danny Flores grew up in the Kansas City area. We just want to explain that, okay? So he's a childhood friend, and he moved down to Florida for some motherfucking reason. I guess he's retired now because he's like, what is it, 63? And you can do that now? So he is a huge Royals fan. He's a Kansas City sports fan. So what say you, my friend? What is going on with the KC Royals?
Yeah, I'm in Florida, but still Argentine Mustangs for life, right?
Oh, yes.
AGT,
baby, AGT. You know it. Yep.
Yeah, I've been down here, guys, for about 8 years, I think now.
Wow, has it been that long?
Yeah,
I thought it was longer.
It felt like that, huh? I miss you too, Waltz, like the deserts miss the rain.
There you go. Love that song.
Who doesn't? It's been tough to watch the Royals kind of decompose from afar and try to defend them to these Devil Ray fans down here because we're kind of in similar situations. Tampa's a little bit bigger than Kansas City, maybe 1 million people more, but I mean, can't draw anybody out to the park. We're constrained by our slow payroll. I'd say that they're in a tougher division, and they do a much better job of keeping that cycle going. These guys, they're not afraid to trade away stars at their peaks, and I mean the peak of their value contract-wise, and it's something that I wish Kansas City would do. Sometimes I feel that we try to hang on to an aging star just to keep butts in the seats, just to keep somebody in the lineup that fans can remember.
But Danny, didn't we do that with some of our stars from the World Series team?
No, we traded none of them. That's the point that we're making. Yes, we had all.
So their contracts were up, and then we just had to let them go, or
they just went. They were free agents, so they just went. We did usually a lot of teams at the end of the contract they try to trade them, get a little something back, but we just wrote it out and just.
The only one that I know that we traded for sure was Whit Merrifield. We got something out of Toronto, not much.
I mean, that was also as a late trade. We should have traded him two years earlier. I mean,
but COVID hit, and that was part of the issue.
Like you said, Danny,
never had his shots. And
trading at peak value, that's something the Royals just will not do. They won't do it.
And it goes back even further. Joaquim Soria, Mike Sweeney, Whit Merrifield, guys where we were in the basement. We could have got something, and Tampa's not afraid to do that. I wish we were a little bit more transactional like they are. I think we've whiffed on a lot of our drafts. I'm still waiting for that big college pitcher draft of 2018 to come through.
That's what we keep talking about.
Yeah.
So like the Rays, and that's what I attribute the Rays' success with, is they draft players, and it seems like a lot of their talent comes from pitching, where we just can't seem to develop pitching. I know they got Wander Franco and Randy Arozarena and all those guys like that.
Yeah, but, that one, the last one you just said, he just got injured.
Yeah, I mean they still got the bats, but I mean I think they develop. I think they develop
last one.
Their pitchers, and they can spot the talent better than we do, because we've, like you said, from the 2018 draft, we've whiffed on every pitcher that we've ever picked up. And
Ma-
speaking of
Yeah,
which,
I,
Josh Stalmont hit
so-
the IL just the other day. I
Did
think.
he? So I did a little
Mhm.
comparison in draft picks. I actually did it with the Baltimore Orioles because they were good around that 2014, 2016 area, just kind of like we were, and they fell off, just kind of like we fell off. And but now they're back up running, and we're still, not very good at all. They have like 8 players in the top 100 prospects. We have one, and he's number 69. The Orioles have the number 3, the number 29, the number 50, the number 49, and some other players. And as you can see, they have drafted high, but they've hit on their draft picks. Our
Yeah.
draft picks, where's my list here? We have not hit on any of our draft picks. The one that we're supposed to hit on was Bobby Witt, and he's been okay, but he hasn't been great.
He's still young. I mean, you do have to give him that. He's only
How long do we have to wait? What is he, 25? Right?
no, he's like 23.
He's like 22 or 23.
He's a young guy. How long did we wait for Mondesi? I know it was injuries there, not necessarily. Well, it was poor.
We don't talk
performance,
about
too.
Bruno.
So,
Yeah.
so
Oh, no
since
more.
2019 that's when Bobby Witt was picked number 2. Then we had AC Lacy picked number 4. He's not even pitching right now. I don't know what his deal is. In 21, we picked number 7. It had Frank Mazzucato. He's in high A. I mean, come on, high A. We need to get going better than that.
To give him credit, he was a high school guy, and he was from the Northeast, so he really
Yeah,
didn't have as much experience.
Not the
as-
talent that
And then Gavin
California.
Cross, who was our pick last year, is in A, but he is our only top 100 prospect that we have right now.
Oh, he's at 69.
He's the 69. Yep.
Okay.
Man, that's sad. And well, I guess we did have quite a few rookies graduate to the big team last year, but yeah, we haven't done a good job there. We really haven't. I mean, have we recently brought in any free agents that are just dead wood? Like the old Jose Guillens and.
Have we actually tapped in like
Yeah,
the Latin countries, for the young prospects?
I don't think as good as Tampa does, or some of the other
Tampa
teams.
or New York or
Is it because location?
I don't think it's that because there's a draft now. There's an international draft.
I
Yep.
think it has to do with our developmental program. Like I just don't think we have what other teams have.
Right.
We're that
And-
small market,
And
we
you know
just
what?
can't-
What hurt us with the draft, because before when we were getting Hosmer and Moustakis and them, we could overpay them. There was no salary cap in the draft. So we was able to overpay players to get them to come to Kansas City via the draft. And now we can't do that. Now everybody's on the same playing field, and we don't have that. What's the word I'm looking for? We don't have that ability to
leverage.
Yeah, that leverage to overpay players to get them to come here.
Or maybe we're looking at the wrong countries. I noticed that when we had the World Baseball Classic, we had a couple guys from Australia. We had a British dude. There was a team Israel. I think maybe we should refocus and look at those Caribbean countries or Central American countries.
I think we
Yeah.
need to move
Japan,
over to the
yeah.
Asian countries. You
Wow,
see what
you're-
they could do.
You're always trying to promote
you're-
Asia.
Hey, it's Asian Heritage Month.
So, well, I will say this: this is the first year of JJ Picola. So, I mean, maybe we're making a change here. Obviously, it's going to be years before
It's going to be a while.
Yeah,
And actually, he inherited a bunch of young players. So just give it a chance, man. I want to give him his 3-4 years, and we'll see how it goes. I think it'll get better.
Well, it
The
can't get
only
much worse.
concern- I do have
Yeah,
concerns
okay.
about that though.
With the Royals, yeah.
I mean,
What's that?
he comes from the same tree, like the same coaching tree, the same general manager tree. So you would think that he probably has similar philosophies. I was
From who?
looking at some the
Dayton
same
Moore.
philosophies as Dayton Moore. I was
Okay,
looking
okay.
at Oakland Athletics and think about their GM and how forward thinking he was, and hey, don't bunt, don't steal. He moved on, or he moved up, and his protege, I was looking, they're leading the league in stolen bases. They're not leading the league in wins, but I mean, you can have
So
like a total
fantasy-wise, that's
philosophy
great.
change.
Yeah, I think they need to get back to some of the old '80s baseball, the small ball. You need to get, everybody's focused on exit velocity, home runs, things like that, and they need to get back to small ball. You need.
I
to
believe
get
they call
base
it
hits,
exit
batting
velo. They call it velo.
Yeah,
It sounds so cool when they say
Yes,
it like that.
he's
With
absolutely-
the
70-year-old men saying velo.
yeah, with the pitch clock, the stolen bases were supposed to go up this year.
and they
so-
shortened the base path by I don't know what is it like a foot because the
Yeah.
bases are bigger now.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
you go.
so
Yeah.
that was they were hoping that would spice the game up, encourage teams to steal more stuff like that. But we were debating this on the last podcast. I don't know if you watched that or not, Daniel. What are your thoughts on the pitch
Of
clock,
course.
batter's clock, stuff like that?
Of course.
Man.
What do you think on that? Like I said,
think
I have no problem with the pitch clock. The pitch clock is a good thing, but I have a problem. Well, take that the other way. I like the batter's clock because when we have Nomar Garcia Power up there adjusting his batting gloves for 45 seconds to a minute, that's great. But I think the
Lorenzo
pitch
Chain.
clock is a little excessive. I think where they're allowed 3 moves. I can't remember how they phrase it, but where they're allowed 3 pickoff moves or something like
They
that.
make 2 pickoff moves. The third one, if you don't
Yeah.
get him out, and he gets to move bases.
Yeah, that I don't mind because there are a lot of times where players stall and do that kind of stuff. But I think the batter's clock has some points to it, but the pitch clock I just think it's a little excessive.
So then
I hate all these moves. I think it's
Don't like
the
them all,
commissioner-
okay?
Yeah, he's playing God. He's trying to change the natural order of things.
Yep.
I think I never had a problem. Yeah, what have they shortened it by 10 minutes?
30.
30.
30.
But on average,
You're close.
I
You're
think
close, Danny.
I think on average, I think it had it at like 20 something. But I think the very first game where they played it, and that was the one that they keep emphasizing that is like, oh, it shortened it by 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Well, I get paid by the hour. They can take their time. I want to get good value for my.
I thought you were salary. I thought you getting paid all that bank down there. That's why you left.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, so earlier you were saying that there's a problem in Tampa getting people to come to the stadium.
I was going to ask you that.
Well,
Dennis. So now you've been there for what, eight years, whatever. What is the
7.
deal? I mean, yeah. So you guys have great baseball seasons every year, and then there's playoff games, and I don't see anyone in the stands. What is it? What's the demographic?
They live in Tampa, and there's an ocean right by them.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna
there's a
on.
lot of there's a lot of competition for the entertainment dollar, but I think the biggest thing is the fact that well, first off, it's an older population. I'm considered young here, but think about that.
Oh.
And these guys
Whoa.
all come from somewhere else.
Right.
They come from Nova Scotia. They come from Boston. The only time they really go to the Trop is when their team is in town. Just like me, I only go with the Royals.
Danny.
And if you've ever been to the Trop, I mean, I can't imagine Oakland stadium is worse than this. It's basically like watching baseball in the
3,000.
Sam's Club.
Right. That's amazing. Yeah, I saw that Oakland had set some terrible attendance record for like 3,000 people or something like that.
Wow. Yeah. Think about this. They've been in the playoffs the past 4 years. We outdraw them. It's just a terrible situation, and I think they may lose the team because they just cannot make a decision.
That's the next thing that they say is on the chopping block. Moving over to Las Vegas is the rumor I've heard.
Who the Tampa?
No,
Oakland is going to
A's.
Vegas.
Oh yeah, I think that's a done
Yeah.
deal, right? That's almost a done deal.
Yeah, well, Oakland's going to Las Vegas. The ones that I have heard, and there's a couple strange ones. They've talked about Memphis or Nashville, Orlando, and then the wild idea. Tell me what you guys think of this. Half the season you played in Tampa Bay, half the season you played in
Montreal? Yeah,
That's wild.
that would not work. That would not work. I don't like that idea at all.
Not at all.
That's stupid. Why would we want to go up there?
And what happens during the playoffs? Where do they host those games?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy. And can they
I-
agree on a mascot?
I haven't heard that scenario, but I have heard the Vegas one.
What is an expo?
Didn't hear Orlando, but I did hear Nashville.
What's an expo, Danny? The Montreal Expos. What's an expo?
Well, I think an expo is like a convention. And
Yeah, right.
there's a lot of
So
art
they're the
galleries and
Montreal
stuff up there.
conventions.
Like buildings? They're the Montreal buildings.
Or in the restaurant industry, an expo is a person that runs your food out to the table and double checks it all.
That's right.
All right, Daniel.
An
Anything else you
expediter.
want to add, my friend?
Well, I didn't hear you.
Anything else you want to add on?
No, good to see you guys. I love your show. I'm a long-time listener for weeks now. And,
Good man. Good
thank-
man.
thank
Did you
for having
subscribe
me
yet,
on.
Daniel?
He said he has. He has subscribed.
I want to say I was like one of the first 3 subscribers.
Oh, okay. And who's your favorite character?
Um,
Oh,
that's so hard to pick. It's like the
Yeah, it's like picking your
all of your
favorite
favorite
You
children?
can do that.
Everybody has a favorite child.
Can't pick favorites.
I have a favorite child. His name is Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, good one, buddy. Good one.
Hey,
I think the recent addition of Joey Mullets has kind of solidified his place.
Does he have a mullet?
Well, thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
coming on and for the great information. And hopefully we can have you back sometime soon.
yeah.
I'll
So
see
next,
you guys in August.
yeah, man. Next time we get you on, we're gonna be talking about your local football teams. All right.
Oh, my Buccaneers. See ya.
All right.
Oh, the
See you later.
Later.
All right,
That's
buddy.
Daniel.